voices. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I had seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 in sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening. Sorry about that. That half an hour before that, I had a bloody software update from Opera, and it's a nightmare. It mucks everything up. It's a real pain in the bum, but it is what it is. Hope you're all having a great day. It's been a good day for me because after 9 months, amazingly, I managed the other day to buy a new fuel pump for our classic Jag. It's been an absolute bloody mission trying to get one, but we got one and it's arrived today. So now we can get the car repaired and get it back and running, but that's another story. But anyway, there you go. Just do some of these chats quickly. Happy good night. Good evening, Godfather Jess and chat. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Evening to Mama Flossie. And evening chat. And Gavin says, Crag Jez Bud, big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Thanks for joining. Macy says, Arsene Wenger got brainwashed by everyone around him, Stan Kroenke, Chips Keswick, and Ivan Gazidis, along with Vinay. Yeah, well, we're going to get into some of this. No, I didn't say that at all. No. Just say you've been in classic. No, I didn't say that, mate. No. I think, mate, seriously, your hearing is going. Maybe you need to get that haircut, fella, because I think it's causing you some dramas. Big up, Carl. Big up to you, fella. And the Yeti says, big up, everyone. So we're going to go back to the 09-10 season. And I think this is where it all started to go a little bit downhill, basically. Arsenal involved in the title race. 7 games to go. And they only got 2 points separated Arsenal and Man United. Man United ended up in first. Chelsea ended up in second. Arsenal ended up in third. Where did it go wrong? Well, in the last 7 games of that season, Arsenal got 2 wins. 2 wins. And we ended up basically 11 points behind the eventual winners, Chelsea. Now, that's not great, is it? Let's be honest. It's not really very good. So, was this basically the time where it's starting to change and turn? And maybe it was going a little bit wrong, because the season before, the fans were getting disgruntled because of the lack of progress, lack of trophies, and around and round and around we go again. So I don't know. I want to get your opinions on this. Any neutral or Arsenal fans, give me your opinion on this. I think it's quite important. So, we've finished top of the Champions League Group H. But we're knocked out by Barca. Basically, after a 2-2 draw at the Emirates, decent result, really, you could say, I think. But we then lost 4-1 at Barcelona's grounds. Got absolutely destroyed. I remember watching it on the TV. It was embarrassing, man. The FA Cup. We went out 3-1 to Stoke City in the 4th round. And the Football League Cup, yeah? Silverware just not coming forward. And this is where it was all seriously going a little wrong. We lost 3-0 to Man City, the team that was coming up and going forward. We knew how things were going to go. Well, we didn't at the time, but it was certainly evident that things were going to make a big difference with that Man City setup, I call it, setup. But, so no trophies again. But the biggest, I think one of the biggest problems was the fact that that season, an up-and-coming young Welsh player, Aaron Ramsey, broke his leg in a horrendous tackle at a game away at Stoke City in the league. And basically, he was gone. He was out for a year. Didn't see him. There was reports at the time it could be a career-ending, basically, for him, because he broke his tibia and his fibia, and it was it's an awful. I remember watching it. I wasn't at the game, thankfully, because I remember watching it on TV. It was horrendous, seriously bad tackle. Guy got sent off. It obviously wasn't malicious. It was just a bloody awful tackle. But you know, there we are. Yeah, I mean, AFC says Longhead Yeti. At Longhead Yeti's cave, big up. Really enjoyed the quiz last night. Yeah, it was good fun. That was a laugh. That was a right giggle, actually. I'm surprised actually how well I did in the film one, because I'm not a big film buff, but some of them questions got a bit stupid in the film section at the end. I just didn't have a bloody Scooby Dooby. Longhead Yeti's cave. My opinion, the Arsenal badge on that shirt looks crap. Did you buy it on a wish? Which one? On that badge, on that shirt looks crap. No, you're a clown. Seriously, man. Anyway, so that's it. That season's gone. We were in a race, title race, but then it all went absolutely down the toilet. Losing to Barcelona again, that was it. So there's a lot to talk about tonight, so I'm going to have to move through this quite quickly. The 10-11 season, right? Before we get into this, let's just do the chat, because this is a very important turning point. We lost 4-2 to Man City. Adi Bayar scored against us. Yep, fact. Big up, Gracie, mate. Hope you're well. Hope your leg's getting better. Are you back in doing your... I know you are having physio. I saw your little video of you doing your baby steps. So I hope all's going well. And hope to see you very soon. May said, we signed Denilson, Jess. We did. Yes, we did. I haven't gone into great... if I went into the depth of everything of every season, I'd be here for months and months. No, I don't think it was Shawcross, mate. I don't think it was. You might be right. Let me know. Google it. Let me know. I'm not sure. But Martin Smith, even Jez, hope you're well, mate. I'm very well, fella. Hope you are very well as well. And Longhead Yeti's Cave, big up Gracie, mate. Hope you're well. Gracie is recovering. May said Kevin Jones was a beast for Sunderland. Yeah, we're going to come into that game, actually, a little bit later. Mama says, evening, Gracie, mate. May says, Omri was at Barcelona along with Zlatan, Messi and Yaya Toure. Yes, he was. He'd gone. Arsenal first. Be up, Jez. Hope you're well, mate. I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. I'm in a very good mood today, actually. Yeah, very good mood today. I'm not grumpy today. Steffi, big up, Steffi. Haven't seen you for a while, Steffi. Good to see you. Hope you're doing very well. Grace says, still rehab. Started to walk again. Now slowly going to be another 3 months in rehab. Good God almighty. That's a long time. Long time. Mason, Carlo Ancelotti joined Chelsea in 2009. That season, yeah. And what did he do? Won a league. There you go. Mama says, big up to Steffi. Ian Barrow, very good evening, everyone watching. Hope you well and are having a great day. Yep, I'm having a great day, mate. That'd be nice if we got some sunshine. Crikey, we're mid-June and it's like almost autumnal. It's bullshit, man. Seriously. Longhead Yeti says, big up to Steffi. Yeah, I mean, I'm crikey. I actually nicked the heating on last night. I sat here, I was like doing that quiz with the Yeti, and I was like, gee, it's cold, man. You know, it's June. It's June. Come on. Steffi says, even at Mammoth Flossie. Right. 10-11 season. This is a very important season in my view. Right. Stan Kroenke increased his shareholding to 63%. So he's basically taken control. He increased his percentage from 29.9% shareholding after buying Danny Fisman, who was one of the guys who was involved with Arsenal moving to Ashburton Grove Industrial Estate, you know, to build the new stadium. And Nina Bracewell Smith, never heard of her, basically. Don't know what she did at the club, but she obviously had a lot of shares. And they both sold them to Stan Kroenke. So now he's now got 63% shareholding. And I think that is where basically we can look at the club and think, is this where it all started to go absolutely tits up? I mean, basically, it was another very disappointing season. The fans were getting a yump again, especially in the League Cup final. Come on. I mean, I remember I was at that game. I mean, come on. Jesus. Right? Losing 2-1 to Birmingham City. Arsenal were the outstanding favourites. Right? And it was come on. It was a shit show. Right? Chesney, who had come in the season before, right, goalkeeper, and him and Koscielny made the biggest error I've ever seen. They both fumbled the ball. Koscielny, then Chesney, allowing Obafemi, Martins to score. And that was it. It was going to extra time. It was 1-1, and then that was it. I just can't believe. I mean, I don't know. It was just like, really? And then that result also killed Arsenal's title challenge. The fact that the players were so flat, seriously, after that. As great as Steffi says, it's wrong. Yesterday, right, in the southeast of England last year, it was 28 degrees. 28 degrees. Yesterday down here, it was about 13. And yesterday evening, right, because there was a potential warning of a frost type situation, right, the wife was out covering up certain plants. I mean, it's mad. Absolutely sodding mad. I mean, I don't know. No, the Yeti wouldn't know about the summer, mate. He don't come out of a cave. That's where he lives. He doesn't see the sun. Anyway, that was it. We're out. League Cup, first chance of winning the League Cup in donkey's years. And basically, I blame Wenger for that because he stuck his faith with the kids, where there was senior players begging to play in that game, and he cocked it. I put that all down to Wenger, all down to him. But what do I know? So basically, we're out, lost the League Cup. The team now have deflated. Yeah, big up. The senior players really wanted to play in that game and take it forward. But, we then only won 2 of our last 10 games. 2 of our last 10 games. And we ended up finishing 4th. Oh, but, hey, hello. 4th is a title. It's a trophy. This is where it all came from, people. And we ended up finishing 12 points behind the eventual winners, Man United. And Arsenal second in the Champions League Group H. But the Champions League and FA Cup, we were out of both competitions in 5 days. And this is where it all started to go seriously downhill. After beating Barcelona at home 2-1 at the Emirates, right? 2-1 at home. But in the away game, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say that we were absolutely cheated in this. Absolutely cheated. Van Persie got sent off in that game, right, by that referee for kicking the ball away. That should have been a yellow card. It's not a red card. So to me, this is the second time in the Champions League competition Arsenal have been cheated. We got cheated, right, in the Champions League final, where our goalkeeper got sent off, and we got cheated when Van Persie got sent off. It was an absolute bloody disgrace. And that is where I say the Champions League is so corrupt. Anyway, I'm going to take a swig of wine because I'm getting dry. Disgraceful, man. He kicked the ball away. That's all he did. He didn't kick it out of the ground. He just kicked the ball away, and he got a red card for it. So, you know, basically the game is at 1-1. We're at Barcelona. We're on course to get to our 4th consecutive Champions League quarterfinals on the bounce. And in the dying embers of the game, Barcelona scored 2 goals and we're out. I mean, I was livid, man. I was livid. I wasn't at the game, but I was absolutely destroyed by that. So there you go. I mean, I'd still say it's corruption. Still say this to this day. In the Premier League, yeah. So the season now, we're out. Yeah, we're out of the comps. But in the Premier League, we're 4-0 up in the 26 minutes at Newcastle United. One of the most iconic games of that season. I was at the game. 26 minutes. And we're 4-0 up. Game done and dusted. You know. And we're thinking this is going to be 6, 7, 8, whatever. What happened? Ended up 4-4. Arsenal just fell apart. I just think they went to sleep myself in that second half. And then a little bit later, a few days later, FA Cup, we're doing all right. And we ended up with a 2-0 loss to Man United at Old Trafford. So that was that season done and dusted. But we'll do some of the chat here. Arsenal first, 50 days of Rangers. It's a disgrace. Worst country ever. Yeah, mate, I'm just getting fed up with it. Stan Macy says Stan Kroenke is a greedy fraud. Yep, absolutely. Longhead yet his cave. It's cold. I could have had to get my Teletubbies onesie out. Yeah, well, you wear that all the time, don't you? It's the ref's fault. Good evening, Mr. Jez. Proper Arsenal. Yeah, I am proper Arsenal, mate. I get pissed off with what's going on now. I'm sure you are as well. Just quickly pick out some comments here. It's a lot of comments here, so I'm going to have to pick them out. So if I miss any of yours, I apologise. I don't remember half it. I was drunk. I think, what, you talk about your quiz or whatever? Galen Mascari, big up, Jez. Hope you're well. I'm very well. Hope you are. Wenger stay 2 years too long. 10 years too long. We're going to come into that. And I want to get your opinions on this right at the end. I really do. It's the rest's fault. Well, 'tis pissing in Ireland. It's been raining here, mate. I'm fed up with it. You know, I want to get out and do stuff. Arsenal first. They manipulate the weather. Don't be fooled. The cave is my safe place. Yeah, you never get out of it. Steffi says, I'm not having Wenger negativity. No, Steffi was a big Arsene Wenger fan. I was, Steffi. Don't get me wrong. I was as well. Don't get me wrong. Because I think, when it was that time, when it was all going a bit down wrong and horrible, I was one of the ones that was saying, be careful what you wish for. That's the thing. And, well, look at what we got. I'm not saying Wenger should be here now. I'm not. But, yeah, I just think we disrespected a certain manager, in my view. But, so, I think it's cost us. I think if we'd kept that certain manager, we'd be in a different position right now. But, hey, there we are. 11-12 season. Now, this is this you can't tell me this is where the club started to cock everything up, right? Really? Yeah. Robin Van Persie, he'd been supported, but had a lot of injuries, season after season after season. And I won't lie, I was one of the people that said this guy's got to be sold. He's just not the levels. He because we stuck with him, supported him, but season in, season out, he picked up an injury here, an injury there. And it was a great game. It was a great game. But Van Persie, 37 goals that season, got the golden boot, 30 in the Prem. Fabregas has left for Barcelona. Yeah. So start thinking about this, people. Where's it all starting to go now? Yeah. The uncertainty surrounding the team at the start of the season showed with poor results because nobody really knew what was happening. Yeah. But we'd also lost Clichy, Ibowie, and Nasri. Nasri, as we know, went off to Man City. And also left, and it wasn't basically till August, right, that the players came in after the horrendous 8-2 defeat at Old Trafford. One of the worst games I've ever witnessed. Ever. And a certain Per Mertesacker joined alongside Panic Buy, last day of the summer transfer window, Mikel Arteta from Everton. There you go. Right. Gets worse. Panic buys, basically, after the Man United defeat, because the fans at the Emirates were starting to call Wenger. They were starting to call him out. What is going on? Remember, the Cronkies now have control of the club. Yeah. So let's start putting this all into chronological order. Yeah. We've got Wenger. Maybe should have gone earlier. And we've now got the Cronkies in control of the club. Interesting. So we've basically bought some players which, in my opinion, just aren't the levels that they should be. And Champions League Group F, we finished top, but even a 3-0 win, right? 3-0 at home, right? We beat AC Milan 3-0. It's very close. We couldn't overturn the 4-0 away defeat at AC Milan. So that was it. We're out in the first leg of the knockout stage again. Third FA Cup home game against Leeds United versus you know, was an amazing night. An amazing night. A certain player came back to train with Arsenal and was given a license to play for the team. So all our hopes now on the FA Cup, right? A certain gentleman called Thierry Henry comes on as a substitute against Leeds United and scores an absolute classic Henry goal. The Emirates went ballistic. If you've ever seen the goal, if you've ever seen him running down the touchline, hugging Wenger, you know, it was a sight to behold. And you're just sitting there thinking, why did we ever let him go? Why? But, you know, it was his decision. He wanted to go. And I think, with respect, maybe it was the right move. Let him, you know, he was coming to the end of his career, but he came back and he scored that great goal to beat Leeds United 1-0. Because we couldn't break. The thing is, that team couldn't break Leeds down, and he did it and went on. We progressed, but we ended up out of the FA Cup with a 2-0 loss away to Sunderland. Fucking Sunderland. Jesus. I mean, come on. And we ended up third in the Prem. And again, no silverware. Now, again, right, the fans were starting to get pissed off. They were starting to get the because we'd been used to winning stuff, right? We've won Premier Leagues, 3 of them, right? 3 Premier Leagues, yeah. We'd won cups, FA Cup, but where was it? Where's it all gone? You know, it was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. But out came, and I'll have a glass here before you'll remember this. The Kroenke, Stan Kroenke, right? Yeah. Season before, yeah, had bought all, or now own most of the shares, okay? Made his classic press statement. I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. Yeah, remember that, because as we move on through this, it becomes bloody evident they had no ambition. No ambition. So the 12-13 season was pretty uneventful again. Yeah. But Van Persie left for Man United because basically Van Persie was holding out for a new contract. But he was also questioning the ambition of the club. And I don't know facts, but I reckon him and Wenger got the with each other. And in stepped Man United. Thank you very much. We'll take him. And off he went. So Van Persie's gone out of the club. Our top goal scorer the season before, yeah, got the golden boot, and we let him walk out the door. And it's an absolute, I mean, you can't make it up, man. But in came, we had Giroud, Cazorla, and Podolski. Podolski basically was come to the end of his days, but he was still a decent player. Still a decent player. But we ended up, again, 4th in the Premier League. One notable game was, of course, sorry, Mama Flossie, sorry, was the record game, which is still a record to today. The 7-3 win over Newcastle United at the Emirates. Amazing game. I was privileged to be there. But, yeah, it didn't bring us anything. we achieved nothing from it, because we had some shit results as well. So yeah, great. 7-3. Yeah. Highest goal scoring game at the Emirates till this as it stands. But again, you know, capitulated in the FA Cup, Football League Cup, and the Champions League was disappointing again, with a 3-1 loss at the Emirates to Bayern Munich, and it was another poor season. The fans were really starting to get the arse. The home fans were really starting to think, yeah, what's going on? What is going on? Where is the investment? And then this is when we start to get all, well, we got a stadium to pay for, we got this and that, and we can't afford to buy the big players. We haven't got the money. You know, well, that was all bullshit. Let's be honest, that was all bullshit. So the ref Diego Costas, yeah, I love that title, the ref. Yeah, I love that. Fuck me, Jez, what has this club become? Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Seriously. Laughed at Madrid and Chelsea that have stuffed animals, but they've won everything in club football. I'm going to come on to that right at the end of this stream. I just want to talk about that. That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable what is going on with this club. Seriously. But okay. So we're into the 13-14 season, right? So the seasons are moving on, but what are we winning, people? Anything? Is this a rinse and repeat? Anybody can see a similarity here? Yeah. What we're achieving? Yeah. Okay. To me, I'll get your comments at the end on this one. 13-14. So Arsenal win an FA Cup. Brilliant. Beating Hull City. It's a great cup final. You can't deny it. But Arsenal were 2-0 down after 8 minutes to Hull City. Wow. Cup shock. Whoa. What's going on here? But we eventually come back, as we know, to win 3-2. But great result. Great result. You can't deny it. The players fought their hearts out for that because they wanted it. They really, really wanted it. And maybe that's the difference with some of the players back then to what we got now. I don't know. You can make comparisons. You can make comparisons. But again, after a very poor Premier League start, Wenger was under pressure. Yes, he was. Big pressure, right? The fans were getting now very restless and vocal after the promised new signings that hadn't arrived in the summer window. And it was on panic day. Last day, right, of the summer transfer window, Ozil joined from Real Madrid, record transfer fee. And the pressure sort of came off because Ozil at the time when he joined Arsenal was a very good player. You can't deny it. You can't deny that. But it was a transfer record, and everybody was like, wow, we got Mesut Ozil, World Cup winner, and all that. And it did sort of reinvigorate the team. The team sort of bounced off that thinking, oh, hello, we've got a World Cup winner. We've had World Cup winners before, yeah, in the French players that we had. So it basically gave the fans positivity. So Arsenal's team, right, Arsene Wenger's team, Arsenal were now in September first in the Premier League. But it all went tits up again after Christmas, as it tends to do with Arsenal. And we ended fourth as Man City won their first Premier League. Champions League again was poor, again losing to Bayern Munich. at home after the Messiah that had come to Arsenal, 0-0 at the Emirates, right? Mesut Ozil missed a penalty. Just saying. But was he the Messiah? Obviously not. But hey, it's the rest fault. She is always lovely and cork boy. No idea what you mean there, mate. Sorry about that. Frankie says, long are the days gone. The Hillwoods, David Dean, Ken Fryer. We was a class act of a football club. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Corinne says the 8-2 at Old Trafford should have been the turning point for Arsenal fans to call for Wenger to go. They did to a point, but not to the levels it should have been, because that just showed where the club had gone. Ian Barron says at smashed Highbury Stadium down to compete. Well, that's what we were told. They never offered Van Persie a new deal. No, they didn't. He was hanging out for it. And this is where I say my personal opinion on this, and I'll come to it at the end of where this all went too mad. Ravi says, Jez, I remember the League Cup final when lost to Birmingham. The two defenders had a Chuckle Brothers moment and Martin scored. Yeah, it was just ridiculous, wasn't it? You know, seriously, man. Give him to United and United won the league. Yeah, here we go. Let him walk out the door. And for literally no money. It was mad. Absolutely mad. And who did we get in? That's the thing. Ira says, big up legendary Jez. Arsene Wenger was a real one. He's my top 3 in England. If he was here, he would have won 2 FA Cup, 1 Premier League, with 700 Mikel Arteta spent on signing the players. I agree with you. I do agree with you on that statement, right? Because he's a proper manager. He's a proper manager, but he didn't spend the money. He had the money, man. That's the frustration. He had the money. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled by the fact of this bullshit about, we've got to sell players, we can't afford to buy because we've got to pay for the stadium. That is pure bullshit. And if anybody doesn't believe that, go to Company's House. It's free, it costs you no money, and go and look at the accounts at that time in those seasons. There was money to spend, right? They were selling players for big money, but we weren't recruiting in the best. You know, I mean, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the bullshit. Damien says, were you mad at Clichy when he left? Yes, I was. And Nasri as well. The ref Diego Costas, how's Edu still having sport? Mate, don't get me on that one. Don't get me on them. Seriously. Ian says, good to see you, Ian. Nothing has changed. The owners only want Champions League money. They need to go. They don't want trophies here. No, I just said, he said, you know, that he didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. And what have we won? Yeah, honestly, seriously, can't make it up, can you? Loghead Yeti says, welcome everybody in the chat. Yeah, keep smashing the lights up, people. It really does help the channel, man. It really does. Donny H, evening, Ravi and Yeti. Before I get into the next one, we'll do some of these chats. If we don't beat Hull, he would have been sacked. I don't think he would have done, mate. Be fair, I don't think he would have been. Don't forget, he lost to Birmingham City in the League Cup. Yeah, championship team. He didn't get sacked for it. So I don't believe he would have been. It's one of these situations again, right? The Cronkies who had control, they were happy with Wenger. Because Wenger was generating money. Money. All American owners are money generators. That's what they're here for. No different to Liverpool, no different to Man United, and it's no different to Arsenal, and it's no different to Chelsea. Yeah, they want money. That's what they are. They're industrialists. They don't give a flying crap about the club. They don't give a flying crap about the fans. This bullshit, which I'm going to talk about at the end, right? I'll go into that one seriously. Frankie says what doesn't get mentioned is when we went to the European final and we sold great players, the team was ripped apart where it should have moved forward and dominated. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Everything you say there is facts. Jez Donny says, Jez, do you value the League Cup? Arsenal haven't won since the 93, wasn't it? Arsenal don't take it seriously. Don't take it. I mean, the state of the club we're in right now, we haven't won shit, right, for 5 years, come the start of this season, right? Then we got to take those cups seriously. But he won't. He won't. Right? Because he thinks he's that good to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Get out of here, man. The guy's not good enough. What is it these people's fans seeing this clown? He wasn't even a good player. He became an Arsenal captain. God knows why. He wasn't that good a player. Sorry. Anyway, so 14-15, another FA Cup, which, mate, I'm not crying about that because I love the FA Cup. I love it. And by now, right, the season before, we'd won the most FA Cups, right? That was our 11th. We've now just won our 12th. So we played Aston Villa, a very poor Aston Villa on the day. God, they didn't even turn up. 4-0, absolutely killed them. Absolutely destroyed that team. And Alexis Sanchez, one of my favourite players of recent times, right, joined the club, and he basically came in, hit the ground running. Absolutely came in. Day one, bang. What a player. What a player. But, again, another player we let walk out the door. Yeah. He admits himself now. Going to Man United was the biggest mistake he made. He admits he wished he'd stayed. Because he went to a totally different club, with a total different philosophy, and he agrees he made a mistake. But hey, that's life. I mean, Arsenal beat Man City 3-0 in the Community Shield. Some people, certain YouTubers out there, absolute idiot, thick pricks, call that a trophy. Okay. Basically, to me, you clown, it's actually a shield. So it's not a trophy, is it? Trophies are cups. Yeah? Prick. I'd love to get him on my channel, man, because I'd roast him. Absolutely roast him. In the Prem, finished third after a decent start, but the Champions League, Arsenal finished second in Group D. But we're out in the next games. Jesus. I mean, you can't make this up, really. Favourites, Arsenal were. Favourites. Yeah, favourites. Lose. 3-1. 3-1. Home to Monaco. So we've won an FA Cup, which is brilliant. Loved it. Brilliant. 12th. We've now won, we're now 2 clear than any other team. I think Man United are the second behind us now. We've won 12. But, the fans really were now starting to get a little bit umpy about all this. And they wanted more. They wanted more. than an FA Cup. They wanted the Premier League. Graham says the new stadium, the lack of money was a smoke screen to fool the fans. Absolutely. It was an absolute lie. The money was there. Ravi says, Jez, was Wenger too stubborn for his own good? Or was a lot of the decisions down to the board? It was him, mate. The latter years of Wenger, it was him. He thought he owned the club. He thought it was his money. Seriously. Big up, Del Boy. Go and support Del Boy Gunner TV, people. Great channel. Lovely guy. Longhead Yetis. Mission is win the league, build, and then go for Europe in a big way. Use youth for the FA Cup. Maybe. I'd say the League Cup. I'm not saying the FA Cup. The FA Cup's my biggest and favourite. I just love winning the FA Cup, personally. Ian says we have gone from a top football club to a new version of Take That. Mate, honestly, I'd say worse than that, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's just the jokes, man. Ants Leicester fan channel. Big up to you, my friend. I hope you're well. So there we are. We want the fans now at the Emirates want more than just an FA Cup. They're fed up with this now. They want a Premier League or Champions League. Familiar story, people. Is it a little bit familiar at the moment? What's going on at Arsenal? Yeah. Is it a rinse and repeat story? Are we in that washing machine again? You know, that goes round and round and round. And this is Arsenal. And this has been the Arsenal I've only ever known. We see success over a short period, and then we go through the doldrums. I mean, I've never seen us go this long without winning. I've never seen us go this long without winning a title. That's for sure. And you know, who can sit here and tell me when it will happen again? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it. Anyway, we're coming to the end of it all for Mr. Wenger now. 15-16 season, right? This was Arsenal's closest to winning the Premier League in 10 years. Beating eventual winners, Leicester City, twice. The only team in the league that year to beat Leicester City twice. Just think on that. Think on that. Arsenal beat them home and away, right? But we still finished up 10 points behind them on 71 points. They ended up on 81. So even though we beat them twice, we still ended up 10 points behind them. So that says something interesting, doesn't it? So another charity shield, whoopie-doo. But the fans were now really on Wenger's back. I remember being there in the sixth. This is my last season now. This is my last season as a season ticket holder. 41 years, and this is it for me. I've had enough, right? Wenger was on, basically, he was under severe pressure, and he knew it. You could see him at games. He knew he was under pressure. But the fans were seriously calling it, saying, you've got to get out. Your time is done. Thank you for what you've done, but you've got to go. But it was common now to hear Wenger out, especially in the North Bank, Wenger out. And it all started to go horrible wrong now, because there was arguments, there was debates, there was Arsenal fans fighting Arsenal fans. Yeah, it was one of, you're either Arsenal in, Wenger in, or you're Wenger out. And it got that way, and it was not nice, because I've never ever seen that happen before. Where even in the days of trying to get rid of Terry Neal, yeah, there's no fighting amongst the fans. It was like, you want him in, some did, most wanted him out. But when it got to this situation, can you? I just sit here and think, can you imagine what would happen, right, if it ever got to the time, which I think it will this season, if it all goes tits up for Arteta? Can you imagine what's going to happen in the ground with the fans? That you're either an Arteta in or you're an Arteta out. Can you imagine what's going to happen? It's going to be absolute bloody carnage, man. Seriously. I don't like seeing that in the fan base. Fans, fans fighting their own fans, because I saw that in that season, and that's when I thought, nah, I've had enough. I had enough of this. So he's under pressure. The fans are arguing, etc., etc., and the Champions League again, losing to Barcelona. What is it with Barcelona? 3 days after defeating the FA Cup, Arsenal captain, yeah, remember this, Arsenal captain, Arteta, retired. That is the captain that season, right? Along with a player that I rated, Thomas Rosicky. Yeah. And so it's now coming to the end, basically, because the fan base is now starting to really get the ump. People are voting with their feet. They're paying for this. This is a stupid thing, right? I haven't done it. I gave mine up. I know people, right, at this point in time, that are buying season tickets but not going. And I remember saying to them, well, why are you bothering? Excuse me. You're spending a lot of money on a season ticket, but you're not going to the games. No, because it will get better. Okay. Interesting. And I've had debates about this to people. So the 16-17 season. Another FA Cup. It's number 13 now. Right? So we're way out there by 3, I think. But the Premier League form was poor, finishing 5th. We're now in 5th. It's all going south, people. It's all going wrong. Was this the season that maybe he should have gone? Don't know. So we're not in the Champions League. We're out of it. Finishing top of Group A in the Champions League in qualifying from the season before. We were embarrassed by Bayern Munich. 5-1 at home, 5-1 away. Now that, to me, people, says to me he should have gone. That was it. Time was up. 5-1, 5-1 in the Champions League, gone. Because we're now out of the Champions League. Yeah. Didn't finish in the groups in 4th. Bearing in mind, he said 4th is a trophy. Big up, Kyle. So, another season gone. FA Cup, brilliant, love it. I'll take it all day long, twice on a Sunday, because I just love the FA Cup. I was brought up with it as a little kid. But the fans were now. This is honestly where I believe, where the fans did the damage. The fans weren't turning up. They bought their tickets, which the Cronkies probably loved and didn't give a damn about. But the fans were voting. We had enough of this. And in the ground, the banners were out. Wenger out. Gotta go. It's time to go. Some people have been very nice about it. Thank you for your time, but it's time to go. So, didn't happen. Another window comes in, quite clear. We didn't do the business, which we should have done. Fans again didn't turn up. Some fans again bought their season tickets but didn't turn up for games. Some gave them up. I know people in that season, 17-18, said that, no, I've had enough. I've had enough. Fed up with it. Ants Leicester fan channel. I remember the really loud chants of "We want Wenger out" and it turning ugly outside the away end at King Power when we drew 0-0, 16-17. Yep. I wasn't there because I'd given up my ticket by then, mate, but I know people who were there. So, as a parting gesture in the 17-18 season, we won another Community Shield, but we had no Champions League. Arsenal were in the Europa League and progressed well, to be fair. Did progress well, but eventually he's out to Atletico Madrid, who basically was seasoned European team. The FA Cup lost 4-2 to Nottingham Forest. Yeti, we lost to you lot, kicked us out, and that was it. And losing 3-0 to Man City in the Football League Cup was enough for the fans, and that was it. That was it. The fans were really on it now. They'd had enough, and they said, he's got to go. Thank you for your time. Thank you for what you've done, but you've got to go. And eventually it was announced that he was leaving. He wasn't sacked. Let's get that right. He was not sacked. I think people misunderstand. He was, I think, told, you've had your time. We don't want to disrespect you after 22 years, but it's time to move on. So we ended up finishing 6th in the Premier League, right? So basically, after 1,235 games, 707 wins, 3 Premier League titles, 7 FA Cups, 7 FA Community Shields, no European trophies and no Football League trophies, Arsene Wenger left the club. And it was on a game, the final game of the season was against, we played Huddersfield Town, winning 1-0. It was an emotional day. I mean, I was a Wenger in right until the last 3 seasons, because what he'd achieved, what he'd done, rebuilt Arsenal. But basically, it was time to go, man. Frankie says, yeah, embarrassing. People need to give George Graham credit. Yeah, I mean, so this is the question. Yeah, agree, man. Totally agree with you. So this is the question. Out of George Graham and Arsene Wenger, who was the better? Bearing in mind, George Graham was here for 9 years. Wenger was here for 22. George Graham won a European trophy, a Football League trophy. He won FA Cup and 2 Division 1s, right? He won 7 trophies. Wenger won 3 Premier Leagues, 7 FA Cups. I'm not going to include the Community Shields, right? They're not trophies. So he won 7 in 22 years, right? 7 in 22, yeah. George Graham won 7 in 9, including a European trophy. So make your own minds up on that one. Make your own minds up. As Frankie said, brought shit players like Shamak and Javinho. Oh, God, they were crap, weren't they? Absolute crap. Longhead Yeti says, George Graham, he built that amazing defence that Wenger inherited. Yep, absolutely did. AFC always says, George Graham was Arsenal's best manager we had. Well, you can put it in comparative terms, can't you? Because, you know, people compare Herbert Chapman as well, which he was changed the style of world football, Herbert Chapman. That's one great feat that is still played to this day. So, yeah, he was an amazing manager. George Graham, you know, this is what I find strange. 7 trophies, 9 years, still hasn't got a statue. Because I'm told, oh, but he managed Spurs. Who gives a fuck where he managed after Arsenal? I don't care. Could have got at Man United, Liverpool. I don't give a shit. What he achieved at Arsenal was quite incredible. Arsene Wenger's got a statue. He was there for 22 years, and he won 10 trophies, three Premier Leagues, and 7 FA Cups. Didn't win a Champions League, didn't win anything in Europe, didn't win a Football League trophy. So it's a very subjective argument, isn't it? It's very subjective. You know, it's one of them things. I mean, I like both those managers, Graham and George Graham. The fact that George Graham was also a very good servant for the club as a player, I think should be taken into account as well. You know, when he actually did play for Arsenal. So, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Give me your views. Give me your views, because we'll wind this up and then I'll give me another. Anyway. I just want to touch on this one, right? Arsenal. What is going on at this club? A soft toy of Win the Dog. What is ever going to be next? Is it going to be a soft toy of fucking Mikel Arteta? I mean, you can't make it up, can you? We are an embarrassment of this club. Embarrassment. A bloody soft toy of a dog. Oh my days. I mean, I see a lot of people streaming about it today, you know, and it's just, yeah, probably by Christmas, right, there'll be a soft toy of Mikel Arteta, unless he gets bloody sacked by then, which I hope he is, because I'm fed up with this prick at this club. Frankie says, Jez, I'm 51 years old, school clock ender. Remember the times under Don Howe, Terry Neal, he was shit. On a shit cold Tuesday night, we would vent our anger outside the marble halls, outside the East Stand. I probably saw you there, mate. Probably saw you there. But Mama Frosty, big up Frankie Mustafa. It'll be a pig with lipstick on. Yeah, well, we know the old saying about that one, don't we, bro? Yeah, this club is finished, man. It's and I'm sorry, it's all the PR, big PR fans out there. You know what I'm saying? It's the PR fans, the get along gang. You know, that absolute prick of a supposed journo, Charlie Watts. Seriously, man, he needs a damn good kick in the mouth. That guy's no journo. Seriously. Ian says, so if Wenger wanted, so if Wenger decided he wanted to come back to club football, manage Spurs, would this great point? What a great point, Ian. What a fantastic point. Best comment I've seen in a very, very, very long time. That is brilliant. Because, yeah, if he went off if Postecoglou, or what his bleeding name has, got sacked and Wenger went there, what the Arsenal fan base going to do? Rip his statue down? What a great comment, man. I'm actually gonna pin that. That's a great comment. It's a joke, man. Yeah, Mama, the cost of it is outrageous. It's taking the piss, isn't it? But this club takes the piss. It seriously does. Joe Van 89, I'll never forget letting RVB to Man United. Yeah, but that's what This is where I say this is where Wenger had too much control. He was too much in control of the contracts. He should have been just left to manage the team. There's no doubt he was a fantastic manager. Technically, he was brilliant. The professor of football. That's what he was called. He was legendary in my view. I personally think because he had way too much involvement. Go and look at the pictures of him outside the Emirates as it's being built. He had a big influence in the build of that. Massive influence. So, I don't know. I think that was a downfall of Arsenal, personally. He just had way too much control, whereas he should have just been in charge of the team, worked in negotiating contracts with the right people. But unfortunately, at that time, the right people had gone. We'd lost David Dean. Sir Peter Hill-Wood had gone. And that ilk. So it was now, unfortunately, with the Cronkies. And we know what they're like. Graham says that's what it will be next year's Mikel merch. Yeah. Mikel Arteta merch. Watch this space. I would not be at all surprised, mate. Arteta plush toys available. So yeah, mama, I wouldn't be at all surprised, honestly. It's and people will buy them. The sad thing is, people will bloody buy them. Really, honestly. Liam says taken down, it would be bulldozed down. I don't think it would, mate. I don't think, because he's, to some people, an absolute legend of, and he's a great manager. But I would still fight to this day. Why hasn't George Graham got a statue? Bearing in mind, let's put it right, he played for the club. He won a double as a player. He won a bloody double, man. The 70-71 double. He played, right, in the team that won us our first ever European trophy. Yeah, the Intercities Fairs Cup, later to become, in 72, the UEFA Cup. So why does he not deserve that? I see people, yeah, calling, yeah, for Liam Brady, legend player to me. Charlie George, legend player to me. Frank McClintock, legend, to have statues. I don't disagree with that at all. I really don't. But why the fuck can't George Graham have one after what he achieved as a player and a manager? Don't get it. Don't get it. And it really annoys me. Because I think you're just disrespecting one of the best players and managers we've ever had. As a little kid watching him, right? Yeah, he was called. He's nicknamed Stroller. He wasn't the quickest player, but he did a job when he was pulled back in the midfield by Bertie Mee, right? But yeah, I mean, it's just he stick it up. You know where to stick that, mate. You can stick your 2 stars where you know. Rookie says no wonder he managed Spurs. Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't go well there, did it? Luke James, even Jez, big up to you, Lukey. Good to see you, fella. But give me your opinion very quickly, people in the chat. Very quickly before I bugger off. Who's the better manager? Graham, Wenger? Just let me know very quickly. Yeah, Lady Bracewell sold out. Yeah, well, she was getting bit past the old sell-by date, wasn't she? You know what I'm saying? And I think you'll find it's actually her family who had control of her shares by then. So they didn't have a clue, they didn't care. Just let them go. Let them go. Get the money in. You know? AFC says George Graham. For me, yeah, he's being a complete prick and saying Arteta, but I'd expect that from the Yeti because he lives in the past. Liam Smith, Graham, could it be the reason it took back Anderson 91 I could be wrong with the year. No, you're right. You're right, mate. But I think you are correct there. I think you are, because he got this. Well, I think what it is, this is my personal opinion, right? Is because he caused disrespect to Arsenal. Because at that time, Arsenal still were a respectful club, or respected, dare I say, right? So I think you're right. I think that is what it is. He brought shame on the club, and that's I think the point, which I think is bullshit. Because come on, he's not the first manager who's done it. Are you telling me Terry Venables when he was at bloody Tottenham with Lord Sugar? Really? You know, nah. There's some dodgy shit went on there. Everything is dodgy in football. Arsenal first, George Graham, and I didn't get to witness Arsenal then, but without him, Arsenal don't win 3 leagues with Wenger. True. Frank says, all day long, Jez, the man bleeds Arsenal. Yep. When George Graham was manager of Arsenal, his house, he had, in his patio, he had a mosaic installed into his patio of the Arsenal badge that sat right behind me. That's what it meant to him. That's what Arsenal meant to him. You know, and there you go. That's the respect that man deserves. Arteta has better drip than both of them, to be fair. No. Both of them, George Graham and Arteta, always wore a suit at the game. When have you ever seen Mikel Arteta wear a suit at a game? Sorry. So there you go. Rookie says, did Graham win Premier League back to back? No. Nor did Wenger. So Frankie says, I've chatted to Charlie George a few times in the bookies and he's unsure. Yeah, I've met Charlie George. Nice fella, man. Graham, Ian says, Frankie says, George Graham brought through youth, but so did Wenger. Wenger did as well. He did use the youth in the Football League Cup, didn't he? He did. He did do that, which cost him in the cup. Sorry, League Cup final, where he still played the youth to respect them, and we lost to Birmingham. So yeah, but respect. Liam says, remember, Jeff, we went that season nearly unbeaten, lost 1 to Chelsea. That season goes under the radar and nobody talks about it. Well, I did a whole stream about that. Yep, totally agree, man. Totally agree. Should have gone invincible. Frankie says it's sad how the club treated George. I think so. Totally agree. George Graham, Vincenzo says, George Graham all day, long Don Jez. Good up to see you, man. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed the stream, whatever you want to call it. Arteta isn't a manager. He has no clue what to do with the youth. No, he hasn't. Don't use them. Doesn't even know them. I mean, it's pathetic, man. Pathetic. Arsenal fan transfer scout and extra. Did Graham go into Tottenham worse than you're viewing him? No, not at all, man. No, why? I don't care. Yeah, we got him from Millwall, right? Yeah. After that, he went to Spurs. I don't care where he went. I really couldn't give a shit where he went. All I'm seeing, what interests me, is what he achieved at Arsenal. And he achieved great things at Arsenal. So I ain't got a problem with it myself. AFC always says, George Graham it got his defensively and offensively spot on at the times, and he was ruthless as a manager. He was ruthless as a manager, mate. You're quite right. He didn't take no bullshit from the players. He ruled them with an iron rod. Bit like Wenger, to be fair. Wenger was no different. Wenger, if you remember, banned alcohol from Highbury in the players' bar and at the training ground, and brought in dietitians. So, you know, yeah. But it seems to me a lot of people are going for George Graham. Ian says George Graham was Arsenal and still Arsenal through and through. Well, he still goes there today, you know, and quite rightly. Quite rightly. You know, I don't think he's an ambassador of the club, but maybe he should be. One thing about FFP and PSR, you should see more youth used and coming through. But he won't use them, man. Although Yeti, you know, certain YouTubers says, oh, we'll invest 60 to 100,000 in the youth squad. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because you can invest 60 to 100,000, and you know who I'm talking about, right? And never use them. What's the point of spending 60 to 100,000 on investing youth players in a squad in Hale End and never see them again? All we ever do is sell them or let them go for nothing because they're not good enough. Oh, maybe because we ain't got any scouts anymore. Yeah, he says George Graham defo deserves a statue. It's like us not giving Clough one. It's a shame. It is. It is, man. What George Graham did for this club, I mean, it's disgrace in my book. It's an absolute bloody disgrace. And I'll keep on about it. And on, and I'll keep on, and I'll keep on. Ian McCauley, does everyone forget that we got Sol Campbell from? Yeah, on a freebie, man, from Spurs. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nobody cried about that, did they? Yeah, nobody cried about that. Yeah, when he scored that goal. Yeah, yeah. Anybody remember the goal he scored in a certain big final? Yeah, nobody cried about that, did they? Liam says George Graham put Charlie Nicholas in his place at the time. Champagne Charlie, bookies and birds distracted him. True. Good point. Very good point. Arsenal fan transfer scouting extra. Wenger is probably our third or fourth best manager, in my opinion. My doubts of how good he was affected by his second half of his tenure. Well said. Very well said. First 10 years, maybe 11 years, brilliant. The second 11 years, no. Yes, he won FA Cups. Brilliant. Love it. I love the FA Cup. But we've petered off, right? We petered off in the Premier League, winning 3 in 22 years. You know, and that, I'm sorry, says it all to me. Just wasn't the levels, because we felt we all fell down this mine hole of believing the bullshit. Oh, we're moving to the Emirates, the Ashburton Grove area ground, yeah, to compete with Europe's best. Well, we've never ever fucking done it. So who's lying? Who is lying? That we actually were promised all this. We're going to compete with Europe's elite. Well, we haven't, have we? Ever. And this has been going on for a long, long time now, people. But, oh, don't worry about it. We bought a fucking dog. We bought a dog, right? Yeah. And now we're selling soft toys of a dog at the armory. Come on, man. What is this club coming to? What we're going to start selling? What we're going to start fucking selling packaged boxes of dog biscuits now, right? With the Arsenal badge on it, yeah. Dog bowls, you know, whatever. Dog leads, collars, all that. We're going to start selling all that, are we? Dog baskets, dog cushions. It's taking the piss, man. It's taking the piss. Seriously. But there's fans out there that will fall for it. Time in, time out. And it's your fault. Your fault. The ones you fall for, your fault that you accept mediocrity. Your fault. Because you're not real Arsenal fans. I'm not talking about anybody here in the chat. I'm talking about the absolute clowns, right, that fall for that PR bullshit. It's your fault. Your fault you're stuck with him, right? It's your fault you're stuck with the Cronkies, right? Because you go along with it and you believe it. And you're absolute blind little muppets, the lot of you. Anyway, Frankie says, we are a different breed of fans. It's like our opinions don't matter. This new brother fans, AV no clue, Ashburton, Ari Dressler. Oh, mate, don't even get one of that lot. What, all 22 of them? They're a crew, aren't they? They're a fucking crew. And this is the mugs, right? Yeah, this mug group, yeah, tried to call out a load of West Ham at West Ham and they ran away. And I know that for fact. I know that for fact. They were trying to call out a load of West Ham, right? Yeah, at the London Stadium, and the West Ham lot came on them and they fucked off. Get out of here, man. Fucking Ashburton Army. Get out. Jesus Christ. You wouldn't stand 2 seconds, man. Longhead Yeti says lots of Arsenal fans are pure mutants. They don't have a clue. They are fans of Arteta's, not Arsenal. Yeah, it's Arteta FC now, man. Frankie says, Jez, remember the Peanut Man? Peanut Man? No, I don't, mate. I don't know what you mean. Rookie says, Wenger's second tenure wasn't his fault. I blame the Cronkies. I agree. I agree, man. They let him have what he wanted because he was going along with the crest of the wave. There was no dramas. There was no unhappiness. It was all what the Cronkies wanted. AFC always, Jez, did we buy George Graham? Was a player for 50,000? Or no, yeah, it was actually 60,000. But you're close. Yeah, 60,000, man. We bought him 60,000 in 1965. But great player, man. Great player. Might have been 60. I might be wrong in saying that. Might be 67. Anybody want to check and let me know? But fourth place is a trophy. Yes, indeed. That's what it was. That's what it was. Ian says, I know you are who you are talking about. He got very angry about comments about Saka, like he knows the guy. Yeah, he's a prick, man. He's a prick. Another one that needs to be stuck on his head, with his head down the toilet. That's a 944. Fine margins in management. We was one kick away from retaining the Cup Winners' Cup in 94. And we were a late Andy Cole goal away from retaining the Premiership in 99. Remember that one? I do indeed. I do indeed. Frankie says Champions League. What else we got? Rook said, blame the Cronkies for that bullshit for limiting Arsenal funds but spending crazy in the American clubs. They're the main cause of all this. Absolutely. They didn't buy Arsenal win trophies, man. You know what I mean? Cash cow. Cash cow, innit? Liam says, I wouldn't be surprised if the RSPCA put a transfer request in for Win the Dog. Yeah, I mean, it's pathetic, man. Sorry, I meant in 95 when we missed out on retaining the Cup Winners' Cup. Oh, yeah, okay. Vincenzo says, big up Mama Flossie, who's always here. Mama's the legend. She is. She's my chief moderator. You don't mess with the Mama. Ian says we're trying to put all the toy shops out of business. Yeah, probably trying to do it by putting Amazon out, mate. Jesus Christ Almighty, you can't make it up, can you? Frankie says, why do we have different coloured away shirts, yellow and blue? Jesus said, Paddy she wore. Well, it was always yellow and blue when I was in my day. We only ever had 2 shirts. It was red and white and blue, yellow and blue. We didn't have 3 shirts. AFC always. George Graham could play in midfield and a striker. He could, but he didn't have the pace really. That's why Bertie Mee dragged him back into midfield. He was a far better player in midfield. That's what they used to call him, stroller. He strolled around the park, but he was a great player, man. AFC always 43 likes, hitting that like button, it really helps Jizz out. Yeah, smash the likes out. I'm out of here soon. Hi, yes, Jizz, I've been told about the London Stadium Arsenal. So-called hardcore got a few slaps. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're a right hard bunch, that lot. Yeah, real tough boys. Ruki says, big up, Jizz, my first time here. I'm going to stick around. You speak facts. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hope you subbed. And smash a like, my friend. It does help us out. A Gooner matter. Big up all Gooners or not. Big up to you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Even Aaron coming you Gunners Knowles. Even to you, my friend, as well. So basically, that's the Wenger years done. And I'm not going to do one about Unai Emery. That's pointless. But when I'm looking forward to when I can do the Arteta years. How long will that be? How long will that be? I don't know. I don't know. Arsenal fan transfers scouting extra, but Wenger deserves a lot of blame. If Kroenke didn't give him the money, he could have left as a protest, but like Conte did when he won the league at Inter, but left because they were not investing. Yeah, well, I think, mate, you've got to remember Wenger's age at the time, and it was a very comfortable job. He was earning over 10 million a year. So why would you want to walk out? If as long as the club is supporting you. It was only when the fans started to turn and walk out, they weren't turning up for games, so the Kroenkes and the club weren't getting their match. They weren't getting their sales of food, drink, and all that. Yeah, that's when it hit their pockets, and that's the only time the Kroenkes are going to turn and say, "Time to go, boys." Yeah. They're not in it for the trophies. They're bullshitters. They're liars, right? In America, they are. In this, they're not. It's bullshit, man. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for this bollocks you hear. And unfortunately, there's channels out there which rinse and repeat the bullshit, right? Because they're so tied into the club now, they can't do anything else. They've been pulled in. It's like the club's a fucking octopus. And they've grabbed certain tubers and certain people and dragged them in, right? And they've got them now, and they can't say anything against the club. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, there are people like me, Lee Gunner, and other channels in Matty, Southern Gooner, right? Del Boy Gunner, yeah, Warren's Team Talk, yeah, that will all call them out. And we'll go against the grain. Yeah, we're not. I'm look, I'm not a big tuber, right? But I'll call it. It's my football club, and I don't want to see my club go down the pan. Yeah. So I'll fight it. I don't care. I don't care if people don't like me. I really don't give a shit. Right? I'm not going to be one of the popular get along gang. Yeah, that's how it is. And I'll call it all the time. Until I see this club actually start achieving, right, then I will call it out. Yeah, and, you know, north side London, right? Great tuber calls it out because we have belief. That's the thing. We have belief. Yeah. And I will never change my opinion of this club. I love this club to death, right? I love it to death. And I don't care what anybody says. If I think you're wrong, then I'll tell you you're wrong. And sorry, I have no belief that Arteta is going to change anything. I don't believe it. Right? If he, I said last year, if he won the Premier League or the Champions League, which I knew he wasn't going to win, I'd say, well done, fair play, but go and do it again and do it again. But that ain't going to happen. That is not going to happen. So it is what it is, man. Lee Ackers says, best manager in the Emirates era, I think so. However, the Emirates era was been very poor so far. Wenger's best years were at Highbury. Absolute facts, man. Absolute facts. Good comment. Baba Wealth says, Baba Wealth, the pundit, hey, mama. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, the thing is, why is that? Because Highbury was a totally different place. It had atmosphere, right? It had something about it. To the Emirates, to me, it's just a bloody soulless fishbowl, you know? But unfortunately, we have a fan base now who accept mediocrity, accept failure, and it'll go on because it's all nice to be nice. Singing stupid fucking bullshit songs. North London Forever bollocks songs. That is nothing to do with football. What are you talking about, people? Seriously. You know, that song talks about all kinds of shit, horrible shit, talks about drugs and bollocks. That is not a football song. Get out of here. Get out of the club. Leave. A presto. Ryan says, used to hate playing Arsenal away in Highbury days. Pretty much a guaranteed loss until Zamora ruined Sol Campbell. Irons, hope you're well, Joe. I'm good, man. Hope you're well, bro. Thanks for watching. Missed that one. AFC always, Jez, we all should raise our standards and demand more no matter what. Yeah. And until that happens, man, until that happens, the club will be in the shit because the get along gang crowd, yeah, we'll just accept it. And all the time you accept mediocrity, failure, then that's what you will get. And that's the same in any walk of life. Yeah, Neil, I mean, Arsenal is trapped in its own paralysis called the process. An endless cycle of mediocrity that has become the mutants' comfort zone. And it hurts so much to see Arsenal fans falling so far. It's embarrassing. True. Great comment, my friend. Great comment. Because, yeah, they're not, a lot of these aren't true fans. Yeah. And I'm not even going to go down that road tonight because I can't be asked to talk about it. Baba Wealth Pundit, at Jez, I text you on Insta. Requesting to have a show with you kindly. Oh, yes, I saw it, mate. Yeah. I'll get in contact with you. Don't worry. I'll get in contact with you. I saw it, man. I saw it. Longhead Yeti's Cave. Fishbowl and bigger fish to fry. You can't make it up. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Rookie, I think Arteta is a good coach, but he's clearly inexperienced and always lacks a plan B. And the club right now claims to be ambitious, but really show it. So Arteta out. Well, we've got him this next season, haven't we? At least. At least. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Anyway, absolutely. What is that man doing right now? Why is he not doing deals? Frankie says, Jez, your opinion matters, and I speak for us real fans who love this club. Well, I ain't going to change, mate. And I am not a popular tuber. right? I'm not a popular YouTuber, what you're going to call it, but I will just stick with what I believe. It is what it is. You know, nobody's going to tell me anything different. Babble Wealth Pundit Neil Atmill, you don't trust this process. Luke says we are supposed to be a big club. Start acting like it. Well, we were once. We were a big club once, where we actually had pride, you know, and we were once respected. Not anymore. Arsenal first, as a great man once said, the club is a star, and he's right. Big up Kenny Ken. Yep, true. Big up Kenny Ken, man. Longhead, I hope you keep Arteta and stay shit and give us a chance to catch up. Yeti, fuck off. Bollocks. And be up, Yeti. Be about 40 to 45 years. Yeah, probably, man. Yeah, you're probably about right, bro. Aguna Mata, win nothing. Again, all four got to go. Dodger, Ed, Josh, and Stan Symbol. We're not losing the Cronkies, man. We're not losing them, because unless somebody came in, right? Unless somebody come in with a stupid amount of money, right? It's massive, some Arab multi-billionaire. They ain't going anywhere, man. They get too much money out of it. That's what they want. I get no respect. Jez, thoughts on a highly rated striker, Obi Mikel, who's been scoring goals for fun, likely leaving for Bayern? Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. Do you reckon that's going to happen? Do you reckon? Nah, I can't see it. Frankie says, lol, North London together, clueless are Spurs from North London. Absolutely clueless, this fan base. Long are the days when we sang She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. And good old Arsenal, yeah. And do you remember the song that I do in mine? Sit Down Next to Me, right? That was sang in the 90s in the North Bank. Proper Arsenal song, man. Arsenal fan transfer scouting extra. Iconic thing out of the big six. Us and Tottenham are the only ones who ain't won the UCL. True. There you go. What can you say about that one? Good statement, man. A good matter, I know, but still only way we win something ever. Not sure, man. Babwell Pundit, all managed who won the European Cup this season over 60. The losers were 40s. Guess experience matters. UCL, Europa Cup and Conference Cup. True. That's totally true, man. It takes experience to be successful in elite sport, in my opinion. I get no respect. Arteta doesn't play the youth. Why would they stay if they don't get a chance? Exactly, mate. Exactly. And when we send players out on loan, what do? We bring them back and then sell them. So it's all a bit bloody pointless, really, isn't it? I don't get it. Yeah, boycott is needed, but it will never happen. It may happen. Let me look. Everything is not brilliant, I can assure you. Not everybody's happy at the Emirates, right? I know still enough people that go that are thinking, nah, fuck this. Kenny Ken goes week in, week out. He tells me it's not all happy and all nice and sitting around the rose-tinted garden. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are pissed off. And it comes a point in time, it happened with Wenger, right? People put up with it for so long, and then that was it. Enough is enough. And Wenger didn't spend anywhere like the money that bloody Arteta has, right? So let's get it right. It could all go horribly tits up very quickly by Christmas for Arteta. If he's not challenging, right, from day one, start of next season, it could go horribly, horribly wrong for him. Just saying. I imagine Chidozie Obi is leaving From what I hear, a lot of youth players have become discouraged by staying at Arsenal under attack. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? He doesn't bother with them. Why wouldn't they? Seriously. You know, Relay says, I want the youth players to leave instead of rotting away on the bench. Yep, totally agree. Give them a chance in their careers. Let them go somewhere where they're actually going to achieve something. Yeah, the Cronkies are richer than Bowley. Let that sink in. Yeah, exactly. AFC always. Jez, your relations, you've seen our club with success. I've only been supporting Arsenal since '87. And in a way, I know how you feel. Of course you do. Of course you do, man. No, keep putting comments into Jez stays for 2 hours. No, I'm going in a minute, mate. I'm going in a minute. Any fan who wasn't bothered about losing out on the title or the success clearly will never know it's like having this thing called success and trophies, which we are starved of. Arteta out. Yep, there you go. Fact. Hello, Jez. Hello, Yeti. Yeah, I'm all right, Yeti, but I'm not staying for 2 hours, mate. It's not happening because I've got to go and have dinner. We might as well close the academy down while Arteta is here. Yeah, exactly. And yet it was a clown, right, who was telling me on Dan Potts' show last week, oh, well, we're going to invest 60 to 100,000 in the academy. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? 60 to 100,000 pounds invested in the academy for what? For players you're never going to see again. What a stupid statement, man. Mike says, big up, Jez. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Looking good. Keep it up. Cheers, man. Thank you. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now. Yeti on the wind up, as always. As always. Me? Never, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Right, people, I'm going to, on the outro. What about the cannon getting turned the wrong way? Yeah. Well, there you go, man. That's this club. It should be pointing that way, not that way. So yeah, it's bollocks. Anyway, we're out of it, people. Thanks for watching. Let's quickly. Oh shit. Jez, I know you're like your red wine. Have you tried Villa Maria Pinot Noir? I like Pinot Noirs. I won't lie. I'm not sure I've actually tried that one particularly, but yeah, Pinot Noir is one of my favourites. And the Colgate shirt. You're about not like you one bit of Yeti. No. Another brilliant stream, Jez. Thanks so much. Thank you, Mama, for watching, and thank you for being my top moderator. I've got some. I mean, it's relentless, isn't it? Yeah, you joined a bit late, Jam, but good to see you, bro. I'm trying to get this question. Awesome stream, Jez. What size shoes do you take? 8. God knows why you're asking that. Yeah, there we are. Where I'll get my glasses from, Specsavers. Thank you. Good night, Jez. Thank you, John. Right, we're out of here, people. I'm going to do the outro. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you all very, very soon. Take care, all. One and all. Have a great week. And yeah, have a good evening. Take care, everyone.